this one was actually sent to me and suggested to me by a female subscriber. Yes, believe it or not, I have female subscribers. She wanted my take on this because I've done the Myth of White Womanhood series, and this picture falls right in line with that. I can't show the complete picture because YouTube and Google has this hair trigger about community standards, and I don't want to get a community standard slap on my channel. So I'm only going to show you part of it, but the link will be in the description to Benny Rose's Instagram. He has a lot of very provocative pictures that are aimed toward black women. Now, art and photography, his brand of photography is there to provoke inner feelings. And I can tell you this photo has struck a raw nerve amongst a lot of black women. News One even had an article about it, which is kind of very rare since it's so black woman centric, especially a photo like this that is so provocative. So even though it has black women in their feelings, they can't really argue against it. This is the embodiment of black female desires, especially in the United States. The hair, the eyes, the lightening of the skin, their feeling about colorism, that kind of thing. And to be honest, as I said in my Myth of White Womanhood series, it's really not about the hair, the eyes, and the light skin. It's really about white femininity and the status that white femininity actually brings with it, especially in this United States. That's what black women really desire. When they talk about colorism, they don't talk about colorism as far as being prejudiced against or it's being denied something. They talk about colorism is that they can't get the status or the worship that they feel that they should have. So when you see pictures like this, or you hear about colorism, or you hear about any one of the other things that black women complain about, you can always go back to Sojourner Truth, Ain't I a Woman? And this picture just shows the internal frustration that black women have had for over 200 years. It didn't just start yesterday. And as much as black women cry about colorism and whatnot, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin or the color of your eyes or even the preference of the man. It has everything to do with the status of what she feels that she deserves in this country, in this world, in this white dominated system. Men compete with their deeds. Women compete with their bodies because women are vessels. Their bodies and their genes and even their sex is what they have to compete with. And they compete for men. They compete for status. They compete for position. Even the Me Too is not about status, position, earnings, or what you deserve. It is about what happens to the vessel, what happens to the body. Even white women use their bodies to elevate the vessel. That's what the Me Too is about. It's about what status that women have amongst men. It has nothing to do with their deeds or what they've earned or their accomplishments. It's about what status that vessel holds and what they can do with it. For women, it's all about the vessel. It's all about how the vessel is seen and valued. And basically, all women, black women in particular, are looking to be valued in some kind of way. At their core, they're looking at the external world to see how they're valued and who's valuing them and what their worth is. Benny Rose, his photos and his work are just that. How to invoke emotion in black women. If you look on his site, you can actually go to his site and look at it. He has several, I wouldn't say several, multitudes of pictures that invoke deep-seated emotions in black women. One of such pictures is this one, where he shows a white woman on the back of a black man, and they seem happy as a couple, like this white woman possesses a black man as a mate, which strikes a chord that black women think that black men seek white womanhood the way they do, or they treasure white women the way that they do. Every time I do a video where we're comparing and contrasting black men versus black women as far as dating or actually dating outside on the other side. Black women have a visceral emotion. And I can actually use Hispanic or Asian women, and it doesn't get the visceral reaction that white women do. You put a woman in there that is white or passes for white, and black women actually have this deep-seated hatred that comes out in them. I think it's less hatred than jealousy. Here's another picture that has a black man with a white woman over his shoulder, like he's carrying the white woman home as a prize. While fairly benign, or even it could look like masculinity or masculine aggressiveness, actually, I do believe, and this is just my opinion, black women see this particular image and this particular black man as bringing home what he truly desires in his heart. And like a hunter, he's captured this white woman, and now he's bringing her home as his trophy. Because if you listen to black women and how they think of a black man and a black woman, they think that black men see white women as trophies to be sought after, to be hunted down, and to be brought home and be prized. It actually comes across in many, many, many videos, in many, many topics. If you look at what the so-called black female sites talk about, 90% of the time, it's about the interaction between the races, black men to white female and black female to white men, and whether or not that black men actually prize or desire their own women. That's always been the question. It's been a question for a very, very long time, going all the way back to slavery. And that question always is tangential to the black man. Like I said before, the question is not, does the black man value the black woman? Is the black woman valued in this system? And they just use black men and white women and white men as a barometer to their worth. Here's another provocative photo I found on Benny Rose's Instagram. Now, this is a picture of a obviously white man with tattoos that, if you look at his dreads and his tattoos, other than his hair and skin color, the body shape and the appearance would be that of a black man, just with white skin. But in this picture, you can see the white man actually worshiping the body of the black woman and trying to possess her the way that black women think black men are trying to possess white women. In this picture right here, I do believe that this is the epitome of what black women actually want. Not that they necessarily want a white man or a white appearing man. What they want is what he can give her, which is the status of white womanhood. That's how come black women cheer for Olivia Pope in Scandal as she takes the white man away from a white woman. She takes the status of bed wench, or possessing the desires of the white man, and taking it away from the white woman, something that in her estimation bestows her with white womanhood. If she can be desired by white men, then she will have what she wants from white men, which is an elevated status. I've seen this many, many times in my videos with Tika Sumpter having a baby by a white man, or Serena Williams being married to a white man, or one of the many other things or videos that I've done where black women have actually interacted, married, or dated white men. I'll never get the negative side that I do when a white woman dates a black man. I always get the cheering section about how they are happy for Serena Williams or Tika Sumpter because they think that these black women have achieved something that they desire, which is elevation or white womanhood by proxy. Now, here's a photo that struck me. Out of all the ones I saw on Benny Rose's site, this is the one that really struck me. And it struck me for a particular reason. A reason that may be unique to black women. I can't say for sure. This is just my thought. I do believe this is the epitome of what black women actually desire. I could be wrong. I'm not going to get some blowback, and I can't say all black women, but from my humble experience and from my limited experience with black women, it's not all that limited, but black women desire an act of submission. And in this picture, you can see the top of the heap, the most desirable white man actually doing or combing a black woman's hair. Now, for a man, combing a woman's hair, that is an act of submission. That is him being in a feminine role, because combing the hair or doing the hair or hairdressing is normally a woman's role. And for a man to be in a woman's role is an act of submission. In the picture you see here is a white man with a long beard. A beard is always a masculine symbol. In an act of submission, by actually having a black woman in his lap or somewhere about there and actually combing and doing her hair, actually being in service to her. And I do believe this is what black women actually want, and this is what they actually seek. They actually seek it from black men. If you look at the pictures or the drawings that artists do about a black man and a black woman together, it's never the black man dominating her. It's never the black man actually over her. It's usually a black man in service to her, like her on his back, him in a subservient position, him treating her like a queen or like a goddess, like a deity. It's always in a subservient position compared to her. Even when you talk to black women and they talk about submitting or being in a subservient position to her man, she always rails against it. You always hear the vitriol. You always hear the venom come out when it talks about black women being in a subservient position to her man. A black man's strength is always there to serve her, to do for her, to be at her beck and call. It's never to be his own man, but to be her man, in a position to where she calls the shots. And in this picture, which I believe encapsulates a black woman's desires better than probably anything that I have seen as a picture, and I have to tip my hat to Benny Rose. A white man with a beard, a masculine white man, combing the hair, the natural hair of a black woman, and actually worshiping her and being in service to her, strikes right at the heart of what I think black women truly desire, because she has the master of the universe, top of the heap, which is the white man in this system, in service to her, worshiping her, serving her, and being submissive and subservient to her. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I think Benny Rose knows something. He's being coy about it. He's not really speaking on it, but I think if you got him in a private moment, these pictures are actually to convey the inner world or the inner workings or the inner emotions of black women, something they will not say out loud. But this is my take. I'm sure I'm going to take heat for this one, like I took heat for the Myth of White Womanhood series. And like I said, I didn't bring this up. This was brought to me by a female subscriber because she wanted my take on it. She didn't give her thoughts on it. Maybe she will in the comment section. But art, as Benny Rose says, is there to provoke and is there to draw out emotions. And I think that just these 4 pictures that I've shown do a good job of that. But with that, I'm going to jump off of here. I've given my thoughts. I don't do this very often anymore because it does get tiring. And the women get kind of butthurt when I actually do this. So anyway, give me what you think. Tell me what you think in the comment section, good or bad. Try to keep the hate mail down a little bit. In fact, if it gets too vitriolic, I'm actually going to delete it because I've had a rough couple of weeks and I don't feel like the slings and arrows of YouTube striking me as hard as they have in the past couple of weeks. But I'm going to jump off of here. This BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one.